All right, perfect. So thank you everyone for being here tonight. And I apologize if you did sign up earlier in the week and I had to move you and put you in this session. I do appreciate you being flexible with me. Taking a note. As you can imagine, with next week being Tech Olympics, I am overwhelmed and so are the students. So I appreciate everyone giving us a little bit of time so that we can move things around. So with that being said, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Heather Ackles. I'm the Executive Director of INTERalliance in Greater Cincinnati. Before we get started, I do want to go over a few housekeeping items. And Belle, I saw you a second ago. Belle is going to be my assistant for today. Actually, I may have lost them. So when Belle comes back, Belle is going to help me answer all of the questions in the chat and make sure that I see them. We have a couple of things that we want to do. Number one, we are in a webinar, so you cannot talk unless I give you access to that. There's Belle. Hey, Belle. So Belle is going to watch the Q&A in the chat messages and call it out if I haven't gotten to it yet. We are going to have lots of time for Q&A at the end. As I was saying with the webinar, you can't unmute yourself, so really use that chat function, and we can always unmute you if we have to. Secondly, we do have questions. We have our business partners with us. So please ask all of the questions you possibly can. We are recording this. We're going to put it up on YouTube and you'll be able to go back to it. But our office is usually very accessible and we're happy to help with anything that you would need from a follow-up perspective. All right, we're going to jump right into it. Belle, can you see my screen, my PowerPoint presentation?
Yes, I can.
All right, perfect. So the agenda tonight, we're going to do a kickoff and a program overview. We'll allow the business partners who are here tonight introduce themselves and give you a quick overview of their program. I saw another one jump in, of their program really quickly. And I want to spend the majority of the time tonight there at the end, really going through your questions and answers. Questions, giving you answers. I know some of you put those questions in when you registered. That's great. We're going to try to make sure we go through all of those. Not yet, not up yet. So we'll go through those and then we'll have lots of time and lots of conversation. So I wanted to first introduce myself, Heather Eccles, Executive Director. I've been here for 2 years. Before that, I spent 13 years with Kroger Technology. Huge fan of building talent, obviously very passionate about this space. I know that Tyler is in the webinar also. He is my Associate Director, and he helps me coordinate all the students and all of these amazing programs. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with who we are or what we do, our entire mission is to create amazing future technologists from our high school students. So we want to inspire you to pursue that future in technology. We want you to see everything that's available and possible in this space, and then really highlight all of the opportunities that exist right here in the city and the region. So you understand how much resources, how many people are really pushing in this space to support you as a future technologist. This is our board. I just wanted again to show you how many people are behind this organization and how many people are really, really focused on your success. More of our partners. Not every one of these partners have an internship. I do want to be transparent, but several of the folks that are the companies that are listed here do have internships that will be available to you. So we've got a lot of big players. We also have some small players, so a little bit for everybody. I know I say Cincinnati a lot. We are the Cincinnati region, so we do 50 miles around CVG. I believe we have some folks from Northern Kentucky. We have folks from the northern part of Ohio. So we're very diverse in our school set. All right, I'm going to pretty quickly go through the programs because I do want to spend the most of my time on the INTERalliance internship. But there we go, Tech Olympics. And I have a poll. I'm really excited because I'm trying out using polls. I haven't done that before. So give me 1 second. I'm going to launch it. I'm going to give everybody 10 seconds to respond to this. Oh, we're about halfway there. All right, it looks like pretty much everyone is done. In polling, only 37, oh, well, I guess we have yes twice. We have most of you going to Tech Olympics. I'm really, really excited about this for those 8 of you that said you're not going. I hope you have a very busy February that you can't spend it with us. Tech Olympics is different this year. Everything is different this year, right? So Tech Olympics is going to be a month long. It will happen outside of the school day, so in the evenings and on the weekends. And all of the amazing content that you've gotten in the past will be available to you, including virtual, basically student lounge. We have virtual keynotes. We have a really great networking sessions with IT and you. Also, pro tip, the job descriptions are released to the students earlier at Tech Olympics than the rest of the high school region. So you do get the job postings a week before everyone else if you are actually there. I guess I didn't hit share the results. There are the results there, and then we will stop. All right, so next one, IT career camps. We will be virtual again this year. We're still finalizing all of the nooks and crannies, but they will come in July, typically always the end of July, and will be completely virtual. We loved these last year because it was a great way for our students to really experience the unique aspects of each of the universities, but also build in some of the business mentoring directly inside of it. The INTERalliance Leadership Council. Belle is a Leadership Council member. I see lots of Leadership Council students in the meeting, but the ILC, which is what we call them, is a group of roughly 30 students who help organize and execute everything that I'm showing you today. Tech Olympics brings about 500 high school students. It is the nation's largest technology conference for high school students, executed by high school students, and all of that hard work is done by our group of students, where these students come from Northern Kentucky, they come from Springboro and everywhere in between, and we're very lucky to have them. If you are interested in joining this group, one, you get a ton of amazing access to our business partners and our board members, but also it's an amazing learning opportunity in terms of program management, time management, conflict management, as well as flexing a lot of those technology skills. Applications will open during Tech Olympics as well. Chapters, we're a club model. We exist within the 4 walls. So all of the amazing things that we do after school or on the weekends, we provide additional content for these schools to execute within their club. We've started presenting monthly packets. So you get a packet that says, hey, it's cybersecurity month. Have some information on how to incorporate that in your meetings this month. We also partner closely with Girls Who Code. And if your school has a Girls Who Code chapter, you can make it part of our organization and you get first access to programs like the Summer Immersion Program. All right, this is what I'm positive all of you are here for. So we're gonna jump right in. The summer internship, and I have another poll for you. If I can figure out how to do it again. All right, let's go to poll number 1. Really easy. Have you interned with us before? Have you not? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. Looks like we've got most of you. So the majority of you are brand new, and that is fantastic. I'm very excited to have you here. I will go through this fairly quickly, but I will also send out all the slides and all of the information to everyone who signed up tonight. So if you feel like you've missed something, one, throw it up in the Q&A and say, hey, Heather, you talk fast, slow down, or follow up afterwards, and I'll definitely make sure we get you covered. All right, so the INTERalliance intern program is available for current juniors and current seniors. So if you over the summer would be a rising senior or a rising college freshman, the opportunities are open for you. Now, we offer a ton of programs that help get you ready for your internship, and those are available for all grades. So if you want to start working on your resume and your LinkedIn profile and all of those things as a freshman or a sophomore, wonderful. That will translate perfectly and you'll have a very long time to get ready for that internship. However, for placement, we do limit it to current juniors and current seniors. For those few of you who were interning with us last year, you can see that you are getting a raise. Congratulations and huge thank you to our sponsors and our business partners for helping us enable that raise for everyone. Last year it was $10 an hour. This year it is $12. And I will call out that it's a minimum. Companies do have the option to adjust that rate. So at minimum it's 12. There may be some companies that pay higher. Don't ask them what they pay. They're not allowed to tell you, so don't ask. You will absolutely, without question, be doing meaningful work. It is something that is incredibly important to me, that this experience helps you guide your decision making as you prepare for the future. So you could be in software development and say, you know what? I love this. This is absolutely my space and where I'm supposed to be. Or you could be in software development and say, I don't love this, but I got to spend an afternoon with the data analytics team and that rocked my socks. So that's what I want to try in the next internship. That's what I want to explore a little bit more. So it is incredibly important to me. It's incredibly important to our business partners that you really, really get that meaningful experience in that job. You're not going to be fetching Starbucks, I promise. We do provide you with mentoring both within INTERalliance and with the Cincinnati professionals. So each organization will have you aligned with a business lead or a mentor and a team, and they will help you, but also technically you work directly for INTERalliance. So any questions, comments, concerns, even down to, I don't know what business casual means, can you help me? INTERalliance is there for you. So don't worry about that. You're definitely going to have all of the support that you need. On top of that, we do have, we offer every student professional development training as well as GitHub training. So you may have seen in some of the documentation, GitHub training is a requirement. I know this is always a big question. You do not have to be a 5-year user of GitHub. We provide you with an a beginner class. We also have an advanced class. Our goal is that when you walk in the first day and your business partner says, hey, we use GitHub, sit down and go ahead and start getting it configured, you know what they're talking about. And you can really feel your way around the application and you can jump in. It's going to help you get to that, that point where you're jumping in versus onboarding much faster. And then some of the statistics, I'm a female in IT. I'm a big believer in that gender gap and that diversity in the workplace. So I'm super pumped. Last year, we did have about 42% of our students that were placed are female, but we also had representation across almost 20 different schools. It was a great year for us. All right, some of this we talked about, but I want to drill into it. Make sure you guys are very, very clear. I am your employer for those of you who are hired. So if you have questions on HR, you have questions on your pay, if you have questions on your tax paperwork, all of that comes to me. If you have questions on if your assignment should be in blue font or pink font, you're going to talk to somebody else. You're going to talk to the company. And we're going to go through that in detail once you get hired. But that's what enables us to work so closely with the business partners because they don't have to take on the liability of hiring someone under the age of 18 or someone without a college degree or some of those restrictions that exist in different companies. Pay rate we've talked about, really excited about that increase. You are expected, unless it is listed on the job description, you are expected to be able to put in pretty much full-time. So full-time can mean 37.5 in some companies, it can be as much as 40. If you are exceeding 40, you have to have approval by your business partner and you have to talk to me first. So that's something that's very important. If you cannot commit to 40 hours a week or 37.5 hours a week, and you're not getting a job that says it's only 20 hours or 10 hours, please take that into consideration. What's going to happen is that you're going to accept it, you're going to struggle because you can't make the time commitment, and everyone is going to walk away disgruntled, and we don't want that experience for you or for the business partners. So please make sure you can make the time commitment. Along with that, it is 10 weeks. So that means business partners will be, and I will be very open and generous. If you want to take a week off during the summer to go on vacation, that's great. If you want to take 4 weeks off during the summer to go on vacation, not so great. So we do ask that you provide us with any out of that office time when you apply, and that you're very open with that. Again, if you have to miss more than more than 1 week of the internship, we need to know that. We typically have about 200 applicants. We just don't want to take away an opportunity from someone else. Not that you shouldn't get the opportunity, but we really want to be able to make it meaningful for everyone involved. Job postings vary. Your business partners will certainly be able to talk through some of that. Some of it is very technical and it's hands-on coding or back-end. Some of it is more business of IT. So all of that will be in the job description, and those job descriptions will drop the week of February 9th for Tech Olympics folks and the week after for everyone else. I already said this, over 200 applicants. It is very competitive. That's why going to a lot of those professional development sessions will help you, because it really prepares you for the interview and make sure that you are presenting yourself in the best possible way. And then, of course, we survey you. We're going to survey you to pieces. We want to make sure you're happy. We want to make sure that you have a plan for what you're doing, and we want to make sure at the end that everything was great. We're going to survey the business partners as well to make sure everything's okay. But don't ever wait for a survey to tell me you're unhappy. Call me, text me, send me a newsletter, whatever. Reach out to me and say, hey, I've just got a question or I'm struggling with this. A lot of times it's just having someone to talk to and answer the question. But please don't wait for the survey. I promise I can help faster than that. Yeah, we talked about a lot of this. So skipping first and second, we've already mentioned that. You must have an INTERalliance approved resume and LinkedIn profile. You also have to have GitHub training, and then you have to complete all required admin and really the admin requirements, right? The government requirements. I have to fill out your tax paperwork. Some companies require drug tests and background checks, etc. We have to get all of that taken care of before you can start. That's not a Heather issue. Most of that is a requirement by the government or by the company. So we need to make sure that as soon as you start getting those emails and communications from INTERalliance saying, hey friends, get in here and fill out your tax paperwork, that you do it very quickly and you're very prepared. So what the heck does it mean to have an approved resume and approved LinkedIn profile? I get this question all the time. One, when I read your LinkedIn, I should know something about you. So it should have a meaningful about section. You have to connect with me because I want to be able to see your stuff and I want to be able to see it fully. You have to follow INTERalliance because I'm selfish and I like having followers on INTERalliance, and we post a lot of great stuff there. So you need to follow us. You need to add your experiences in your projects, have a professional picture. And we do a full LinkedIn training on this and what a professional picture is and what goes on LinkedIn and what doesn't go on LinkedIn. Appreciates pictures with your cats. Those are great for Facebook or Instagram or wherever y'all post pictures these days. Not great for LinkedIn. So think about if this was the only picture that a potential employer is going to look at you, the only thing they're going to see, are they going to feel like you're a good fit for their organization? So just something to keep in mind. And then it has to be, spelled correctly, right grammar, that kind of stuff. Resume is pretty much the same. Make sure it's spelled right, make sure it looks pretty. And then 1 page, as you can imagine with 200 applicants, if our poor business partners or poor Heather had to go through 200 resumes and all of them were 10 pages long, we would lose our minds. So try to make it as condensed as possible. And then try to make sure that you very clearly identify what school you are and what grade you're in, just because that helps with some of the communication process and those types of things. With that being said, I did mention LinkedIn training. I also do resume writing training, goal setting, professional development, presentation skills. We do a lot of professional development, mock interviews, and several of those are offered within Tech Olympics. I know this sounds like a Tech Olympics sales pitch, but that's all I've done this month. But those are available to you even outside of Tech Olympics. Those are free. Please take advantage. The resume and the Resume and the LinkedIn profile are both required before you apply. GitHub training is not required until you start. So you will have before June 1st is when we typically start the internships, before June 1st to complete your GitHub training. So don't freak out. You don't have to have it done in the next week. This is a very simplified view of the process. One, you apply, and you're going to apply through me, and you're going to apply online. Two, the companies are going to get those applications. And I think I saw a question in the list, can you apply to more than one company? Yes, you can actually apply to all of the companies, or you can apply to just one company. But if you choose to not apply for a specific company, if you ask you to tell me why, and it doesn't have to be like anything crazy, it could just be, hey, my mom works there and I know a ton about that company, so I'm really interested in another one. That's great. It could be, I live in Walton, Kentucky, and I can't drive to Mason every day. That's great too. I would just like to have that feedback as I'm planning and organizing and making changes in the future. You're going to interview with the companies. So that's where that mock interview skills come in handy. And then they're going to make their selections. Throughout every piece of that, we, INTERalliance, will manage the communication. So you're not going to get emails if you apply at 15 companies, you're not going to get emails from 15 companies. You're going to just hear from me or my team. You're just going to hear from us, and we'll let you know when things are happening, how things are happening, and what your deadline is. And as a follow-up to this, I have a really great graphic of all of the deadlines for the students, and you guys will get that as well. So that was fast. I see that we definitely have some questions. I do want to get over to the, all right, I'll answer these four. Is there a list of internship opportunities for this summer on the website? Not yet. As I mentioned, those will be posted the second week of February. Even if I don't necessarily want to go to the IT field, but I'm interested, would it still be beneficial to apply for these internships? That's a great question. The internships, like I say, they vary across the board. Our preference is to work with students who do have some type of IT experience, but that doesn't mean you're going to be ruled out. I'm a firm believer that every business right now is an IT business, because you need to have those skills in order to be successful in just about anything. So if you're interested, you should definitely check it out. How do the weekly hours work with COVID restrictions? Is this mainly online or in office? That's a really great question, Gemma. So the majority, I would say, of the companies are going to say that it's virtual, but when they submit their job descriptions, I am asking for them to tell me if it's virtual, in person, or hybrid. So that way you can make the decision for yourself, right? So make a decision that's best for you as those companies put out those positions. Alex, how are hours tracked? That's a great question too. You will get trained on a program called Clockify. And in Clockify, I will attach you to your specific company that you're working with. You have to turn those in to me. I review and approve. I send them to the company, they review and approve, and then we pay you. And it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it, but it seems very intimidating if you've never logged your hours before, but we'll work through it together. And the Muriel, both, I think we're going to have a mixture of both in-person and online positions. All right, so more questions are coming in, but I do want to jump over to the business partners. I'm going to make you all panelists and allow you to talk. While I'm doing that, I just want you to introduce yourself and give a couple minute overview of your company and kind of what makes you different. Any information you think would share on your specific internship. I thought I took down people's names as they were joining. Note to panelists. Sorry. There's a lot of people in the room. All right. Promote to panelist. And Jamie, I know I saw you. There you are. And then Abby. if you are a business partner here to represent, and I, for some reason, did not, actually, Tyler, I'm going to have you talk about the INTERalliance internship as well. All right, so I made all of you panelists, and I'm going to hit the ask you to unmute button. If there is anyone still in the attendee section that is here for a business partner, can you use the raise hand icon and Bella and I will come get you? Yeah, I think we're ready to get started. Abby, you're at the top of my list, so I'm going to ask you to go first.
Sure. So I'm representing Western and Southern Financial Group. I am the campus recruiter. So I will be, conducting any interviews, walking you through the process, making sure you have everything you need to start your internship with us, aside from what INTERalliance does, of course. And then once you are onboarded, I will be the one to make sure you have the networking opportunities, obviously to network with other IT interns as well as other interns within our organization. If you are not sure or haven't heard much about Western and Southern, we are a full service financial group located in downtown Cincinnati. Our goal is to bring our interns on site, but at the moment we are just making sure that everything is in order for you. So we're just kind of selecting that it would be a hybrid internship at the moment. Let's see. And then Heather, you said I can talk about the internship or internships?
Yeah, if you have, I know that some of the companies are, I have someone in here. Some of the companies are already finished with their job descriptions. Feel free to give a little bit of information there. Oh, Keaton, I'm gonna move you over now. So yeah, go right ahead, Abby.
Okay, awesome. So the only one that we have right now is the Information Security Risk Management intern. So basically you'll be supporting members of the security team on different business projects. They do look for students who have some experience with C# programming. And forgive me, I'm not an IT person, but I'm taking a look at our notes here, and any experience in an integrated risk management software solution. So it's more of a security-based internship. And again, that's the only one that we have at the moment, but we are hopeful to have at least one more, which will be shared obviously with INTERalliance. And of course, we can talk about that throughout Tech Olympics.
Perfect. Thank you, Abby. April, would you like to represent GE Corporate?
Sure, thank you. My name is April Hobbs. I am the INTERalliance Relationship Manager for GE Corporate, and I work within our area to actually help bring in the INTERalliance interns. So I'm your main contact during the summer, but you actually have also product leaders that you'll be reporting to. But given that GE, in case you don't know, is General Electric, a very large company within the Cincinnati area, you may be very familiar with GE Aviation. But GE Corporate supports multitude of GE businesses globally around the world. One of our centers of expertise is in Cincinnati. It's an IT hub for us. And centrally, we support healthcare, we support aviation, we support our gas power, our renewable energy. So it is a broad company with over 250,000 employees worldwide in 16 different languages. So the good news is you only need to speak English. We're looking at, and we've been doing INTERalliance for a while. It's a great program. So if you've never been in it before, I definitely encourage you, especially from an internship area, to attend. We've had folks come in 2 years in a row. We've had folks start with INTERalliance as a high school intern, go to college, be a college intern, graduate college, and come work for us as well. So we love our folks that come in through INTERalliance. It's a great program. We have 5, maybe 6 internships, if I can convince one more product leader to sign up this week, coming in play. Of the ones that are going to be available, We have a financial data technology intern data engineer. We have a product leader that's looking for help in our finance data lake. So if you're interested in big data, data pipelines, understanding Amazon Web Services, looking at the software development lifecycle, that one would be for you. It also gives you exposures to programming scripted languages like Python and SQL, as well as Apache Spark. If you are not familiar with everything, I would still encourage you to actually try it out. You may be willing to learn on the job, and we've had people who come in like maybe with the Python training, but may not know SQL, and they learn on job during the summer. So it's one of the big benefits of INTERalliance and the interns and you being able to try it out. One of the other areas that we have is also Cortec web hosting technology. In this area, if you've ever wondered, like, you hit google.com in your web browser and, how do you get to facebook.com? How do you actually work in the background? Our web hosting team builds basically highly available, highly scalable web services and solutions to deliver web applications to our employees. So essentially, this internship is focused on developing enabling tools and systems to help deliver those web hosting technologies to our students. In this one, you'll need some basic development software, basic command line usage, and quickly learning new skills. You'll learn things like Chef, Docker, Agile, Jenkins, Python, Ruby in this position. So there's a lot of different variety here that you would be able to come on and work in. We have two additional internships in our service management area. And our service management team has actually had INTERalliance interns the past 2 years. We've had 4 of them. This program is supporting our overarching company. They have well over 30,000 users of their business application, and they usually bring you on in working with integrations. So if you have basic JavaScript capability, that would be important, but also willing to learn APIs, how integrations work, and how to also potentially develop front-end systems besides the back end that normally people work on. You would actually be developing the front end of what a GUI may look like as well. So that has a lot of different potential exposure. So that's just a little bit of the samplings of what we're looking at. Our internships, we will probably bring you in for at least 1 day to get you up and running, but the rest of the time will be virtual, especially given the COVID environment and the uncertainty that we have in place. We have that available, but we are looking for 10 full weeks of internships being available. That's it.
Great. Thank you so much, April. And by the way, we love you too. So we appreciate you. So we have Chris and Keaton from Fifth Third. Do you guys want to tag team? Just introduce yourselves, give a little bit. Still see you, Chris. I don't know if you can hear. Okay, good. A little bit about your company, your culture, your internships, anything you want to share with the students and parents.
Sure. So my name's Keaton Combs. I am a mere data engineer in the enterprise data area of Fifth Third Bank. I'm going to leave it to Chris to kind of give a higher level overview, but I can explain that, or rather say that we also love INTERalliance. We have interns pretty much every year. We try to tailor the experience more around what you guys are interested in. IT at Fifth Third Bank is pretty massive. So there's a lot of different areas that you can touch, things like security and data, apps and things like that. But Chris, if you're on, you can go ahead.
Sure. Can you guys hear me? Am I coming through okay?
Yep.
Excellent. So thanks everyone for joining. I'm Chris Schmidt. I'm Vice President in our desktop operations team at Fifth Third Bank here in Cincinnati. So I think most people are familiar with Fifth Third Bank. We're one of the largest banks in Cincinnati for sure. And just recently, we extended our reach to be a national bank. We have a national charter. So we're growing. I'm really proud to be centered in Cincinnati and growing nationally. Most of our IT is centered in Cincinnati, which is exciting. We've got a major IT operation up in Madisonville, up just right north of Hyde Park along I-71, and we have some operations downtown as well. We're excited to offer 3 internships this summer. 2 of those are going to be in cybersecurity. So as you were talking a couple offers back, we'll have 2 offers in cybersecurity, And then another one in our infrastructure space. So looking at, I'm not sure specifically yet where in our infrastructure space, but we're looking at something maybe around data storage or around our desktop area, with potentially a fourth one coming. So we're checking. We may have 4 offers, but 3 slots. But some great opportunities there. We're a big IT operation in Cincinnati, so we're excited to bring 3 interns on this summer. We still do have that restriction for 18-year-old for our interns. We're still trying to work against that, but at this point as we're drafting these, we're looking at 18-year-olds.
All right, perfect. And for students and parents, any company that has a restriction like that will be listed on the job description just so that you're aware of what's available and what's not available. We don't have it's really a small subset that have an age restriction, so don't worry, but they will be very clearly labeled for you. All right, thank you, Fifth Third. Jamie from Kroger Tech and Digital.
Yes, thanks, Heather. Hello, everybody. My name is Jamie. I am with Kroger Technology and Digital on their early talent team, and I've been working with INTERalliance for the last couple of years now. So I'm very excited about the internships. It's my favorite part of the year, one of the favorite parts of my job. So Kroger Technology and Digital, as you can kind of put together, we're pretty much the technical arm for the Kroger company. We're involved in everything from data analytics and cybersecurity to product experience, infrastructure, new innovations, all of that, and so much more. We are very excited to have 5 internship opportunities available this year. We're still fine-tuning some of the job description, but we are having 1 within our R&D team again, 2 within our infrastructure space, 1 with our store mode team, and 1 with our supplier and sourcing team. So got a good mix for you guys to look through, and I'll be at Tech Olympics, so I'll get to network with you all. Please stop by one of our live sessions. I'm happy to answer any questions. We'll have some of the managers there to meet and greet with you guys and answer any questions. But yeah, I'm really excited, and I look forward to meeting you all. And if you guys have any questions, I am happy to answer them at the end.
Awesome. Thank you. And you got some feedback in the chat. Shebang Bang, that's an interesting code name, just saying. Shebang Bang worked with you last summer and said it was a lot of fun. So clearly already great feedback from that one.
Awesome.
All right. Who's up? Thank you so much, Jamie. Lori with NKU.
Hello, this is Lori. I'm from Northern Kentucky University. We're located in Highland Heights, Kentucky. So it's about 5-10 minutes from downtown Cincinnati. We'll be looking for 3 to 6 students this year to help us with a couple of projects. One will be working on a chatbot project, which is like a virtual assistant, trying to help when someone has a problem when they call in to the university. The chatbot will kind of guide them based on the questions that they're asking. The second one is tied to our esports team that we have. This team is really doing an outstanding job here, doing very well in the group that they're in. And they were looking for students that might have experience in gaming or shoutcasting, graphic arts, and design. We anticipate being on campus this summer, but we're guided by whatever the governor says. So we have to be very careful. And what we're trying to do is find ways to get the students on campus, working with some of the staff. We have project managers, we have application developers, just a wide range, networking, security. There's just a wide variety of different people that the students would be working with during their time with us. I think it's kind of a well-rounded thing. I do want to let you know that we've been very fortunate in the past to, we have 3 students that came through the INTERalliance program that now work as student employees for us. And they're in their 2nd year, doing a great job. And we really, I believe that the ones that came through the program had a better jump on some of the other ones that did not. So we really like what we have, our relationship with INTERalliance, and look forward to continued growth with them.
Thank you. I met today with the Dean of the Honors College, who's running the esports program at NKU, and we went through a lot of the strategy and the new lab that's coming and some additional partnerships. And you guys probably don't remember Robert Blassingame, but he was an INTERalliance student. He's on their varsity esports team. They're competing internationally. They're nationally ranked. I mean, they're pretty incredible. So we appreciate you as well. Thank you. Tyler, so INTERalliance has internships also, guys. So on top of all of the amazing opportunities from the companies, we actually have interns that help us with all of our summer efforts. Tyler, you want to give a 30-second blurb?
Yeah, sure. So basically our interns over the summer, they usually work on our INTERalliance career camps. Not sure how many of you have been to the INTERalliance career camps, but they are kind of a way for students to see what IT is like in the real world, get their hands on different, from Python, getting their hand in Python, trying new things. Back before coronavirus, we would visit companies, you'd spend a week at a university, but now it's all virtual. So it's kind of more, we've gone with more of a themed kind of week approach. So each week would be a different theme from, software development to cybersecurity. Interns, they would come and they would help put together our kits. They'd work together on coordinating with our sponsor companies and our universities to try to make, the best week we could for the kids over the summer. They also worked on our YMCA summer camps. I'm not quite sure if we're going to do those again this year, but we are going to do those again for sure. Okay, sweet. That's what I thought. I didn't want to go out and say it, but we would help create content for like the daycares all across the summer daycare programs for all the YMCAs and the greater Cincinnati area. And I think that's kind of like the basic of all we do in the 30 seconds.
Yeah, so from our side, you get a ton of project management, typically not incredibly technical, though last year we were putting together Raspberry Pis, and it will be a mix of virtual and in person, just because we do a lot of compiling of things, physical things for camp, so it'll be a mix for us. All right. And then last but certainly not least, we have Matt Godstead with us. He's the INTERalliance co-chair, has supported INTERalliance in a ton of different ways. Would you be willing to share kind of your experience with interns and your perspective?
Absolutely. Thanks, Heather. Yeah, so as Heather mentioned, I've been involved with INTERalliance for the past 7 years or more. For my day job, I work at 8451 in information security. 8451 is a subsidiary of the Kroger company. Yeah, so my experience over the years and mostly at the last 3 companies I've been at has been amazing with our interns. It's just positively every time that I've had the opportunity to work with the company that I've been with about bringing in INTERalliance interns, they're blown away, and it just never fails to amaze them. The level of just the caliber of talent, and enthusiasm that each student brings in to the organization, and most times the feedback is that student just operated at the same level, if not outperformed some of our full-time people, our full-time IT talent that we have that are employed here. So we challenge every employer to make sure that, as Heather mentioned earlier, it's not just meaningful work, but challenging work. You're talking about, they'll build websites, they will build apps, they will build databases, they'll do things that are just, they wouldn't normally think, hey, a high schooler, I can't believe that they could actually do this. So we challenge them to make it really meaningful work, and just don't underestimate the talent that the student will bring in. And what we also like to do is encourage our companies to, at the end of the summer, to have a readout, to have the student get up and talk to some of the executives about what they did that summer and how they learned, and some of the skills that they not just brought in to the role, but also came away with that they didn't have before. So can't speak enough about our internship program with the INTERalliance. Just absolutely love it. It's hard to pick what your favorite program is with INTERalliance, but this is certainly one of them. And just love to see the talent that comes through the program.
Thank you. I appreciate all of the business partners for being here this evening, and for putting all of that out there for everyone and giving a little bit of a view into your companies and the opportunities. We are moving into the Q&A portion of the evening. So students send in, or parents, whomever, send those questions into Q&A. Bella and I are going to try to moderate, and then business partners, please help us answer these questions. Process stuff, it's going to be us, but really the experience, we want you to help. So someone asked, what if I do not have a lot of experience with coding programs? So from my side, we have opportunities pretty much across the board. Some of them, as you heard, if you have Python, if you have whatever, that's helpful. But they're typically not 100% of all of the opportunities require some type of software development experience. I don't know if any of the companies want to chime in. Feel free to just speak up and unmute yourself.
Yeah, this is April from GE Corporate. We occasionally, like this year, I think we're probably going to have at least one more program or project management. If I can get another one, I like that balance. Not everything is about coding in any IT career. I will tell you, yes, I know some coding, but a majority of my time is actually program management, strategic management, communications, that actually has a large amount of being able to be successful for an IT project. So there's usually a little bit of a balance in there, and you can find something that maybe gives you a balance. Maybe you do more program management, but you start a little bit of coding. But those opportunities are there.
Thank you. Jamie, Forrest would like, could you repeat those specific internship opportunities again, maybe just at the high level, which programs? Sorry, my dog is behind me.
Heather, you said my name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it cut out. Yeah, so we have, hold on, let me pull up my list again. One within our R&D team. We'll have one with or two within our infrastructure space, one with our store mode team, and then one with our supplier and sourcing team. And I forgot to mention that they will be virtual this year. So we'll do some onboarding. You'll have to pick up your laptop in office, but we are virtual up until June. And then moving forward, we're not really sure what's going to happen. I don't think anybody really does. So we're going to be virtual.
All right. So we don't have any questions coming in Q&A. I'm going to look through the sheet. So someone is asking for the deadlines. I'm going to go ahead while we're waiting for more questions to come in. I'm going to share the this cute graphic that we have. So this is the timeline. And again, I'm going to send that to everybody so you guys have it. It is, I believe, posted on our website. If not, we'll get it posted. But as you can see, we would like applications to be in on March 1st. I know that someone asked me specifically when they can start sending resumes and LinkedIn accounts for approval. You can do that right now. I go ahead and just put everybody kind of into the database, and that way those pieces are knocked out. In fact, I prefer that because when everyone sends them all at once, it gets it's a lot of admin. So if you can do that now, it's going to be much better. Also, if you are attending Tech Olympics and you're in a resume writing or a LinkedIn session and you get the approval at that session, you don't have to worry about anything else, just send it in and it's already approved. So you should be able to get really close, if not complete the approval process during those sessions or trainings, inside and outside of Tech Olympics, but I know those are the ones coming up. Since I'm a freshman right now in high school, what kind of things should I start learning for internships and later for a college major in computer science? Business partners, anybody want to take that one? All right, I will take it.
I was curious to say, this is April again at GE. So if you're really getting into computer science, I would definitely get into some structured query language programs. SQL is a base for a lot of the data and the databases that you may be working with multiple application sets. In addition, some base applications capability like Python, JavaScript is definitely key. And then if you're also looking for actually up and coming careers, I do have to say the cybersecurity career umbrella of IT is massive. There's all types of different cybersecurity capability out there, but I would definitely encourage you to start looking in that area because there are a ton of career opportunities there as well.
I agree. And again, Tech Olympics pitch. I'm sorry, guys. I'll have to schedule these farther away from Tech Olympics in the future. But this year we're themed and we have an entire cybersecurity week. So for those of you who are interested or just not really sure what being in cybersecurity means, check out that week. There's plenty of different sessions from what do careers look like to, hey, I'm ready to do Hacker Heaven. Let's start competing. And really everything in between. So a question in Q&A, if we have completed GitHub training previously, do we have to do it again or is it still applicable? It's still applicable. I'll also tell you I know that a lot of the robotics clubs and hack clubs use GitHub training or use GitHub as part of their just everyday operations. If you have your advisor send me an email and say, hey, Reese uses this every day. I agree that she is proficient in it. I'll mark you off. I'll mark you that as a requirement that you've met. There's absolutely no reason for you guys to set into training if you've already got that proficiency. We're not trying to make more work for you. We just want to make sure you're prepared. Okay, that one's done. Will there be any way to get contact information from each company? For today's group, I would encourage you, if you are at Tech Olympics, every one of these companies will have a booth and they'll have specific booth hours and different virtual sessions that you'll be able to attend. That's where I'd like you to connect. Due to co-employment and the way that our system is set up, we typically don't give your information directly to them and vice versa until we are in that full process. So that is my official answer, but go talk to them at Tech Olympics. I'm sure they'll give you their emails. All right, what are the different cybersecurity opportunities? We definitely just heard some from Fifth Third. We heard some at GE. And Abby, I think you may have mentioned that there was some cyber. We're still finalizing them, but this is a really amazing change for us because I would say not the first year that I did internships in this position, but the year before, we had almost zero cybersecurity internships. So the fact that we have several across multiple companies is really, really great and super encouraging. And I think says a lot about what April said with it becoming such an up and coming career.
I also think, Heather, I believe Western and Southern was one of the first companies to offer a cybersecurity internship for INTERalliance for high schoolers. I believe they were the first.
I think you are correct, and I think you were a part of that when you were at Western and Southern. So yes, we're really excited to have those opportunities. If someone finds an applicant who is impressive but possibly not good for a coding job or technical, blah blah blah, will they be a good candidate for marketing something else? Can accommodations be made? Yeah, I mean, so the question, I know I was rambling. The question is, if you interview a student and they're maybe not quite there on the technical side, but they would be great in another field, project management, marketing, something else, is there an opportunity to kind of shift and adjust? I won't say that it will happen at every single company, and every single company has that flexibility, but I know a couple of them have. And sometimes it's, this manager interviewed you for a specific position within, INTERalliance, and she thought you were great, but you're just not ready for that position. So they will send you to the other hiring manager to do the interview and process. So just be very flexible with us and open and listen to the feedback that you're receiving. And if the feedback is like, hey, you're going to be really great for a position and whatever, you and I can talk about that and see if we can find some opportunities for you as well.
I will also say last year we had a few project management applicants, we had a few coding, but we found someone that had some coding but had really good what we think project management skills, but not enough quite where we were at coding. So our person who interviewed actually suggested this other role, interviewed with them and ended up getting the position. So there are definitely things that we do as well when we're interviewing. If we think we find a better skill set, our leaders talk to each other to see whether or not a candidate may be better.
Perfect. Thank you. We're running short on time, but how many companies offer internships? Last year we had 11. Typically we see closer to 15 with COVID really disrupting the whole world last year. We're expecting to hit back at that 15 level. And typically we have between 50 and 75 internships. Again, this year will be a little different based on the virtual nature, but that's what we're targeting. And then can the companies talk a little bit about how workplace and how each team would work? So do you do like paired programming, teams? Are you agile? Just a little bit of the culture, I think, is that question. Jamie, do you want to start? Oh, April, you start. I see you're off mute.
Sure. So we have a large, diverse company, so our teams are different. Our service management team, we usually have 2 interns starting at the same time, and we usually actually pair them together for a group project, and then we do separation as we go throughout the summer. And they have a pretty strong coding team together that you're usually partnered with, in being able to go through that. And Agile is definitely used in terms of our software development lifecycle. And there's 2-week sprints essentially in that area. Web hosting, it's a little bit more independent. There is a team, but they also do agile methodology as well. And they use more of that Chef, Jenkins, and GitHub methodology in releasing code sets. In our cybersecurity, Agile is also used. So if one thing you'll learn is Agile. So if you don't know that term, I would suggest you look it up, because a lot of companies are moving to it to be able to provide better, quicker solutions to their customers in a much easier framework. Let someone else speak up too.
Yeah, sorry guys, I was on mute. So last summer was our first year shifting everything virtually. So we learned a lot. We had our college interns go virtual. We had INTERalliance interns go virtual. So we utilize Teams, Microsoft Teams, if you're not familiar with that, as our main way of working with one another. Within each of the roles that I mentioned, all their teams are different. They have different ways of working. So it really just depends on which role you're going for, but you'll have mentors on your team. You'll most likely work with other college interns. You'll be on our college intern program as well. So you'll get to kind of experience some of the fun things that, make Kroger culture what it is, even though we're virtual and missing out on some of the things. We still do virtual talks and tech talks and networking across the Kroger company to learn a bit more about different areas of Kroger. And that's really important, I think, early on in everyone's career, is just to kind of get that networking opportunity and learn more about the different career paths. So that's kind of what our culture is now virtually. But yeah, every team's a little bit different. Yes, Agile, I see in the chat. There's definitely roles that in the job description will mention that. But again, once we get the job descriptions up and running, if you guys have questions, I'm happy to answer them.
All right, so we are at time. I am going to send this out. I'm going to send the link. I know that there was still a couple of questions. What makes a great intern or an intern really good? Tenacity, typically, someone who is passionate, someone who's excited and willing to learn. And if you've got strong tech skills, that's a bonus, but really having someone who's got a master on those professional skills and the soft skills will definitely give you a leg up. Also, communication. You need to be able to talk to people and you need to be able to share and collaborate. With that, I do not want to take, thank you, Abby, for putting your answer in the chat. I really, really appreciate that, guys. For the culture question on Western Southern, take a look at the chat. I want to be respectful of time. I know we only had an hour. When we're back in person, these are fantastic because we do networking and you can do some one-on-one conversations. If you have additional questions for us, just send them to me. Like I said, I'll send the link, I'll send the timeline, I'll send the slides for you as well, just so you have them. My information is literally everywhere, heather.ackles@interalliance.org. Feel free to reach out to us, check us out on the website. And registration for Tech Olympics is still open. So if you want to come, just let us know. Just register. If you need financial assistance, we've got you covered. Just tell me, we will take care of you. We would like every person who is interested in the Tech Olympics this year to be able to attend. It's virtual, it is flexible, and it is incredible, and we're very, very excited about it. All right, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your time, your attention, and really just your engagement. Business partners, you guys are amazing. You know, I appreciate you and everything that you do to support INTERalliance and support our students in the region. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks, Heather.
Heather.
Thank you.
Heather.
Bye.